Hello dear students, welcome to Devika's Commerce and Management Academy. Organization introduction I taught you in the last class. What is organization? Did you remember? Organization means the activities which are covering, which are going towards the objectives, the organization objectives to be achieved. For that purpose, we are having lots of activities, we are having lots of things that should be cooperated with these objectives to achieve the objectives. That's organization. We have already discussed about the characteristics or features of the organization, and also different types of organizations like formal organization, informal organization also in the last class. Today we'll see related to the organization, important concept, that is process or steps in the organization, and also we'll see the requisites of an effective business organization. These are the both are important. Whether you are doing BCom, BBA, CA, CMA, or any course, MBA, for everyone this is useful. First of all, we'll see process or steps in organization process. Total how many processes are there? Simple 4 process. Process of an organization, easy to remember. First step or step number 1 or process number 1, that is identification of activities. Organization is having lots of activities. Each and every activity together, if we do it efficiently, then only we'll be able to complete the task, will be able to complete the work. So that is why activities you have to identify. First of all, the process first identify the activities. So what kind of activities are there? It is related to the organization, it is related to the persons, it is related to the department. So all these activities you have to identify. Now identification of activities, you can say it as a 3 points. One is all activities are performed. First identify and see that all the activities are performed. Performed in the sense no activities are left. Each and every activity you are identifying and it should be performed without delay, without lefting any activity. After that, no duplication of activities. Sometimes there may be possibility of duplication of activities. Activities are already performed, once again we are doing it. That's duplication. That should not happen. That happens whenever you are deciding properly that this activity is given to so and so person and he is only the responsible person, or otherwise that activity is given to particular department, that particular department is going to handle and they are going to accomplish it, then there will be no chance of duplication of the activity. Do you get it? This is no duplication of activities. In the same way, activities are coordinated. All the activities are to be coordinated. How? Example, stores department is there, purchase department, finance department, production department. Every department is having activities, but all the activities, means all the department related activities are to be coordinated. Then only you are going to achieve, then only you are going to accomplish the objectives of the organization. Are you getting it? One activity that I have finished, it does not mean that it's everything is completed. That is interlinked with the another department activity. Like each and every activity is to be coordinated and interrelated. So this is about the step number 1, identification of activities. Once if you identify the activities, if you perform all these things, then step number 2, grouping jobs into departments. Activities identified. Let's divide the activities into grouping into department. Make it as a groups. This activity comes under so and so department. Another activity comes under another department. Like each and every activity, you have to make it into department wise. When you make it into department wise, these activities, here 2 things you have to remember. One is functional department, another one is divisional department. Functional department means department wise every activity we are going to make it as a activity. Suppose say one production is there, only one production. That production, or you can say it as a product. Our product is electronic goods. Electronic goods, we are producing only cell phone. This is our product. This product related, we have different departments. Production department, sales department, purchase department, finance department, HR department, marketing department. Like different departments are there for production of one product. So this is taken care by the different departments. One product is taken care by the different departments. That we say it as a functional department. Another one, divisional department. Divisional department means we have different products. Suppose a steel and cement, let's take at example. Here only one product, as we have discussed about cell phone. One product in different department wise we have divided. Now here divisional department, many products are there. For example, we have two products, steel and cement. Steel related, I wanted to create one department. This department is taking care of the steel only. Another department I have created, that is going to take care of the cement only. Like this, if different departments are there, then we are going to divide it. That is why we say it as divisional department. For steel, one department, we are dividing one department. For cement, we are preparing another department. So the only cement activities are taken care by that department. Like this is about the divisional department, functional department. Second point, grouping jobs into department wise. Department wise, it decided whether you have one product or two products or three products. One product means functional. Two or more than two products means that is divisional department. This is about the point number 2 or step number 2 or process number 2. Next, third one. Okay, this is okay, over. Next, what to do? Assigning the duties. When you want to assign the duty, please be careful that efficient and who are capable, who are qualified, who are having experience, those persons you have to identify and assign the duty. Then what happens? You can expect good result. There will be no confusion at all. So this happens whenever you identify proper person. Identify. So suitable persons you have to identify. Okay, assigning duties is over. Then what to do? Last step is delegation of authority. Duties are assigned, but you have to give the authority. This is the last step. Authority and delegation of duty. Delegation of authority. So you have to give the authority. Authority, unless you give the authority, they can't delegate their work. They can't perform their work. So that is why delegation of authority is important. Whenever you are giving authority, along with authority, please see that responsibility is also assigned to the same person to whom you have given the authority. Very important point. Without responsibility, if you give the authority, tomorrow if something happens, who will take the responsibility? Isn't it? So that is why always remember authority along with responsibility. They'll take the responsibility because they have given authority, and also responsibility means they are accountable. If anything happens, I'm responsible. This is my job. I have to do it. This particular area is mine. That kind of alertness, responsibility. So that comes whenever you assign both authority and responsibility. This is the last stage. Simple 4 steps. First one is identification of activities and grouping jobs into departments, then assigning duties, delegation of authority. Authority along with the responsibility. Simple 4 steps. Am I clear? If you understand it, next one. Requisites of an efficient organization, business organization. What are the things to be required for an efficient organization? Simple points. One is able organizers. Able organizers. Who are the able organizers? Efficient and who are having good knowledge, who are having capability of handling the things, who are well experienced, who's having a depth knowledge in that particular area. These people we call them as organizers. Good organizers, able organizers. This is important. If organizers are not good, then what happens? Whatever you plan it, everything is not going to be work out properly, isn't it? So that is why always remember able organizers are important. Then after that, what else is required? Sound business policies. Whatever you are preparing policies for organization, that should be sound and efficient, and you should get the good result. In that way you have to plan it. Here important thing is that no conflict, no confusion about the policies. You are prepared. Okay, is it clear? Is there any kind of disputes? Is there any kind of conflicts, or is there any kind of confusion? Is it clear? That is important. That should be understandable by all the organizers, including the employees also, because through the employees only you are going to execute it. So both together, there should be a clear cut picture, no confusion at all. So this kind of policies you have to prepare it, which is understandable to everyone, department heads and CEOs of the organization, and also employees of the organization, all kind of people. Next one, proper supervision and control. To whom you are giving the authority, they should have a proper supervision, means they should have the quality of a leader, controlling the things, handling the things. So this everything is required. At the same time, they should have the control. How would you get the control? Once if you get the command over the organization, once if you get the command over the activities, good knowledge, and handling the things, handling the people, these are the main activities. Whenever you have, you get automatically a control over the organization. Are you getting it? So this is also required, means this is related to the leaders of the organization. Proper supervision and also control they should have. And also cooperation, coordination is required. Cooperation between the employees, coordination between the departments, this is must. Suppose one department is very active and they are efficient, they are doing, entire department is vibrant, but another department is very dull, inefficient employees are there, lazy, they are going in a delay way. So there's no meaning of handling the things, because if you want to get the things to be done, means everything should be very vibrant, all the departments, all the things should go on very well. So that comes with the coordination of all the departments, and cooperation between all the employees, top to down, everything is interlinked, right? Subordinates, they have to report it to their boss, that boss is going to report it to the another boss, like there should be a proper cooperation coordination. If this is there, anything can be done. And also efficient personal organization, entire organization should be efficient. In an efficient way you have to handle it, efficient personal organization. And also capacity for business expansion. Sometimes if the things are going well, there is a possibility of expansion of the same business. Expansion in the sense, in one way you can say, the same product you want to expand it to the various places. Like the product is available only in Mumbai, they wanted to launch it in Hyderabad, Chennai, Delhi, Kolkata, Bangalore, right? This is one kind of expansion. Another kind of expansion is, we are having lots of products, like for example if you take Hindustan Lever Limited, they are having lots of products. Along with the products, they got a new idea, they wanted to launch another product. Say soaps are there, 4 5 variety soaps are there, they wanted to launch another. This is also a kind of expansion, right? The expansion can be in the same product, you can expand it to various places, or different product you wanted to launch it, that is also a kind of expansion for the organization. So these are the things, the capacity to increase the expansion of the business, that is also needed, that you have to plan it, get ready for that also, because business means always there should be a continuous growth. Stable, okay, we are running, we are protecting from the competitors, no, this is not going to work out. You have to be dynamic, you have to be always alert and do the things in an innovative way, so that you can occupy the market without any delay. So these are the requisites of any business organization. Am I clear about it? We discussed about the steps and also requisites of an efficient organization. And in the coming classes we'll discuss more. One more important point I forgot to say, next class we are going to discuss about types of organization. Structure wise we discussed formal and informal organization. Formal organization, informal organization, the first class only. Now types of organization, this is related to the activities point of view. How to execute the activities. In that types of organization, first one comes to line organization, second one is staff organization. line organization, staff organization. This I have discussed very clearly in the human resource management subject. That same links I'm going to attach with this say subject, the principles of management. The same links I'm going to attach it because concept is same. I need not to work out once again recording and taking my time and energy. No. So these two I have already covered in the HRM links I'm sharing. Am I clear? And rest of the types of organizations that I'll be covering. Stay connected, take the screenshot. See you soon. Don't forget to share this video. Good luck.